Hello guys, it's your boy Nadal. So today we're going to go through a Theater Pain 16 and I'm going to put commentary over it like we did in the Plaguefall video that everyone seemed to enjoy. So uh, we're gonna go through this one. I can already see one mistake that I made. I did not refresh my flask. My flask is 26 minutes left, you can see in the top corner. So that's gonna probably, if I don't refresh it during the run, which I don't think I do, that's gonna fall off. So you don't want to do that for sure. And one more thing about this video is that I will be playing Vigor instead of Mark for Death. I've been experimenting a little bit with Vigor, and I can't tell you for sure, but I don't know. It feels really good to play with Vigor. It feels like I do more damage. Mark for Death still sims a little bit better, but I think it's really hard to execute Mark for Death properly in like really high keys and stuff. So I think Vigor might be better, but that's just my personal opinion. It has no bearing from science or simulations or anything like that. But yeah, in this video I'm playing Vigor, and you'll see the damage at the end. It's pretty good. I don't know. I like Vigor, man, but yeah, it's just my personal preference is Vigor. I can't say that Vigor is better because Marked for Death sims better. So, but my personal preference right now is Vigor in dungeons. All right. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video, guys. All right. We need to not have sound, of course. So here we shroud skip to the boss, and we make sure we distract the big guy. The shroud skip there is to we do that so we can get to the boss right away with all our CDs, right? We want to be able to use our CDs on the boss and not have to worry about this first pack. And we want that last pack, or that first pack, to be our last pack in the dungeon, so we can get pride from it before the last boss, because we want pride for the last boss. Here it's no biggie, okay? So we're cleaving off of the skull, and we're kicking cross. We have a kick rotation for that. Here you just keep up Blade Flurry the whole time. It's important. Try to cleave on these three. This fight is a pretty good one for Rogue, right? Because you can just cleave on all of them. In this dungeon, I'm trying to use Vanish more offensively than I usually do. I usually forget to use it sometimes, so this dungeon I'm really not trying to make that mistake. I potted as well on this pack. The agility potions, very strong. I don't pot for all the dungeons, but this is the highest one I've done. I think it was World 9 at the time when we did it, so I was like, okay, good potions, for sure. So, yeah, you just keep doing your regular rotation. We shiv for the last combo point there. Reroll. And here we should use Between the Eyes, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So we should have used Between the Eyes already. What about now? No? Still no Between the Eyes? That's a mistake. You definitely want to use Between the Eyes. It's actually your most important thing to keep up after Blade Flurry. Because it gives 20% crit, so it's actually really huge. So you don't want to miss that like I did there for like 5 seconds. But there's a lot of stuff going on, so... what about now? Between the Eyes? Nope. Okay, well, the mobs are almost dead. So then it's not as important if the mobs are almost dead. Because then you want to dispatch, because dispatch does more damage in that little window. Alright, so here we're waiting to go down. I'm looking there, I'm like, what the fuck, a Warlock? So much damage. I'm looking at the DPS meter. Like, what the hell? But, yeah, Warlock seems solid, man. He beats me, I think, by 48 DPS in this run. But he's going very single target heavy, so that's good. Alright, so here our trinket is off CD, right? It's perfect. We're doing a big pull here. So we want to make sure that we cleave off the big guy, right? So we're DPSing the big guy and cleaving on the ads. And here you can pick up the orbs, right? The Kyrian orbs. You see the Kyrian orbs back there? I should be picking those up probably. Between the eyes there, perfect. Reroll. I let Blade Flurry fall off there, not good. Like 2 seconds of Blade Flurry loss there is a big loss to DPS. I should have used Vanish that pack as well for count the odds proc. So we kill that one big guy and then we go here. This is to get like a good prideful timer for the boss. So here we AoE a little bit. Here you can cloak. If you feel like you're in danger, you can cloak here from the chains, but it's usually like better to hold on to it for longer. We should have sliced and diced the first combo point spender there, not the second one, but we do it on the second one. Here we can reroll. There we go, buried treasure. Hold on to Adrenaline Rush here for the next pack. I've been trying to do a little bit better with that. Of course, you want to spam Adrenaline Rush as often as you can. But some packs, if they're low HP and stuff, you definitely want to hold them for the next pack. Or in Tyrannical, like it is this week. If you're right before the boss, I usually hold them for the boss. Just because Tyrannical is really rough, so you need to be able to do good single target DPS. And here we should pick one, like high health target, like the moon, and we should between the eyes that one. Yeah, we do that here. We could have done that earlier. But it's what it is, man. Here we Shiv for the last combo point. I use Shiv for my last combo point quite a lot of the time. Mostly to make sure I can use my Kyrian finisher inside of between the eyes to get like a 20% additional chance to crit with the Kyrian finisher. There's so many orbs here that I'm not taking, but this is just one thing too many, man. So yeah, it's I use Shiv sometimes to get my Kyrian combo points lined up. The reason I do that is because it always gives you one combo point, regardless of what you have. You can use Shiv. It has 25-second cooldown though, but yeah, that works pretty well. Here everyone started lagging. Like everyone was lagging. And everyone was freaking out, but we were fine. Here you should use Feint. I'm not using Feint here, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's fine. As long as you have it up for like a big portion of the duration there. You could probably use it a little bit earlier, but it's generally better to use at the end of the cast than at the beginning. But Feint is really strong, so you should definitely use that. It's not a DPS increase, but... And here I found out today that you can use your Blood Elf Racial on these to get rid of the shield on these mobs. Which is really crazy, actually. I didn't know that until this run. Nothing special on those two. Just cleave them down. Alright, so we're coming down now to this pack. Here we need to focus the big guy, I thought, but we actually should have focused the star, because our Warlock has so much single target DPS that... Alright, Feint. Yeah, we Feint there, good. So we have Feint up for majority of the Soulstorm. But yeah, we should have focused the star here, because the Portal Guardian dies too fast. So here I realized that, shit, we need to focus the star. But it's... So I hit him with the stun there. The Paladin does as well, so we get like DR stuns, but we tried, right? We had the same thinking. So here we go, left. Make sure we don't get knocked off by these whirlwinds. They're yeah, they're pretty nasty, the whirlwinds. So make sure we don't get knocked off. We don't want to look stupid, right? Just keep Blade Flurry up. Blade Flurry, yeah, there we go. Preferably you don't want even 1 second of Blade Flurry downtime, if you can avoid it. But here I will get some downtime because I'm not spending enough combo points. But that just it is what it is. And now we get Blade Flurry for the next pack, which is fine. But that pack we did not so good. 4.2k on that pack is not great. Alright, so now we have a pack of 3. Here I can Blood Alphrasial, I think I will. If I remember it. No. I think they purged him, that's why. Here we should reroll. Good. Reroll before we do the finisher, in case we get a good finisher, right? Or a good roll. Then we get bonus to the finisher. Right, I pop my CDs here because it is the last pack before the boss, but we also have Pride after this. So if you can get like your full duration of Adrenaline Rush, then you can pop it before the boss, but it also helps a lot to hold your CDs. Like the Warlock there, he's holding his CDs for the single target, but that means that I have to use a little bit more CDs, so it's like, it's teamwork, you know? If someone wants to save for the CDs, the other ones probably, or save for the boss, the other ones probably can't do it. But Outlaw Rogue is just so consistent that you never really save. You just keep using your CDs all the time. You do really good damage all the time, which is nice. Like even on this Pride, I do like 4.8k, which is a lot more than the others because I'm not saving. And even though I wasn't saving, I only have 33 seconds on my Adrenaline Rush. And with some finishers on the boss, I will get that up again. So I use a lot of Adrenaline Rush, man. I think that's the biggest reason why I do a lot of DPS, because I think a lot of people hold their Adrenaline Rush for like bosses and stuff all the time. But I just spam Adrenaline Rush every chance I got. So here Adrenaline Rush is coming up again, so we use it, get a reroll. I really don't like Grand Melee, man. The Grand Melee gives you like slice and dice and stuff, and leech. It's just not that good. But yeah, here you can actually cloak the draw soul mechanic. You can cloak it. So if I want to maximize damage, I cloak it when I don't need the buff. So I get the buff and then I cloak the one after. But here we don't do that because we're holding our cloak when the healer calls for it. The healer will say like, yeah, cloak now, and then I will cloak. We're just helping the healer as much as we can with this. So draw soul. Here's there's no hands, so we just DPS, and then it takes you and you run to it. You take so much damage in that. Like when your soul is like running away from you, you take so much damage. That's why you want to have cloaks. You can avoid that when the healer needs it. Like you take crazy amounts of damage. Keep doing a rotation here, marked for or between the eyes with your Kyrian combo point. So it's really long. So here we use our cloak, right? It's not the best for damage. I mean, if we went for only damage, then we should have not done the cloak there. But the healer called for it, so then we will do it. So we want to help our healer. And here we almost have Adrenaline Rush up again I'm thinking, like, should I use it or should I not? I'm not sure if I actually use it here. I think I will, actually, because you want to finish the boss, right? Like, the boss right now, it's hurting us. Like, the bosses, we don't have any immunities left. The boss does a lot of damage. Yeah, so I just use my CDs there to kill the boss. It's not optimal because I have a few seconds left. So now we go back. We're gonna go to a different wing. So we're gonna go back to where we started, and this is to get the pride a little bit better. That's all. Some tips and tricks here is on the next pack you can use evasion to avoid the arrows, which is really useful. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. But I feel like I'm not making that many rotational mistakes this run compared to the Plaguefall one. The only thing would be, yeah, like Vanish, but I've really been trying to think more about Vanish ever since the Plaguefall video. Using Vanish as a DPS CD like it should be used, instead of just saving it for nothing. Here we get a 3 roll, or a 2 roll actually, with 2 pretty bad rolls, but it is what it is. We don't use Adrenaline Rush here, because we're saving it for the next pack. Because this guy is not very difficult, so the next pack is actually hard, and especially on Fortified, it's really hard. Now it's Tyrannical, but... Blade Flurry, there we go, Curing Racial, Vanish... Oh, see? I'm using the Vanish, I told you guys. Actually, I'm remembering the Vanish now, which is good. So, nothing special about this pack. You keep Between the Eyes up on the main target you're focusing. Keep Between the Eyes up on the main target. Keep Blade Flurry up on yourself. It's actually more important. Reroll if you need to. If you have 1 bad buff, you can reroll. If you have 2 bad buffs, you can also reroll, but it depends on the situation a lot. If I feel that I can, without sacrificing globals that I need for something else, then I will do it. But if I feel that I'd rather do damage, then I won't do it. But it depends what rolls you have. Like True Bearing and Grand Melee, I will reroll them when they're together, always. Because they're just not good. But True Bearing, I can keep it sometimes. If I have a long time left on my Adrenaline Rush, for example, and I want to get it sooner, then I can keep the True Bearing. Just for that. Like on Sludge Fist in raiding, for example, or on a dungeon boss or something like that. So this girl is pretty easy here. We're gonna get Pride after this, and then we're gonna do the boss. Rogues are really fast at killing in the arena. So even without CDs, I kill pretty fast. So you're gonna see that. So that's pretty good. You should probably do that a lot. Like when you get sent down, you should be the one killing, and the other one should just stand there most of the time. Here we get Between the Eyes, good. Blade Rush on single target for energy. And just keep pumping. But yeah, the priority for anything really is if it's AoE, Blade Flurry is the highest prio. If it's single target, Between the Eyes is the highest. So for AoE, it's Blade Flurry, Between the Eyes. Then it's Slice and Dice and Roll the Bones are kind of the same. But it's kind of the same priority, I would say. But you should keep both of them up, of course. But I would say Slice and Dice is slightly more important than Roll the Bones, if you have to choose, like in the global. But after you do Slice and Dice, then your next global should be Roll the Bones. So, that's it. That's the priority for your buffs on AoE. And then Blade Rush, you should use it when there's a lot of mobs, ideally, but it's also a DPS increase on single target on cooldown. So here you're gonna see I kill him pretty fast. And he's gonna be like, he's gonna say something, I don't remember what he said, but it was like, damn, you killed so fast or something. And here when we get up, we have to focus the banner. We make sure we use Blade Flurry here when we're DPSing the banner, so we actually cleave onto the boss a little bit. You can't mark for death the banner as well, apparently. I found that out last run or something. But I don't play mark for death here, so it doesn't matter. I still haven't figured out if you can dodge this one, the Fiending Crash. I haven't figured out if you can dodge that. Sometime I will try it, but not in Mythic plus 16. Alright, so here we DPS the banner again, reroll, Blade Rush on both of them. So Blade Rush here is really good because it hits both the targets. You can use Feint when he jumps back like that, jumps in, to reduce the damage. But the damage isn't gonna kill you, and it's unavoidable damage. And the healer is probably using something. So, it is what it is. So we kill pretty fast there, as you can see. So Outlaw definitely can kill it pretty good there. Alright, so here we're a little bit slow on the banner, but we end up killing it just in time. If you don't kill the banner fast enough, then he's gonna start the combo, and you're gonna be slowed by the banner, and you might die. But even on 16 Theater of Pain, we managed to kill the banner pretty good, so that's good. I think we get thrown down every single time with the Hunter, and the Warlock doesn't get thrown down a single time into the fight or whatever. So he's gonna do a lot of DPS here, but that's actually good for us because he's very single target heavy, and it helps if he's alive for the boss. So here, yeah, the Warlock is here, but the boss is dead. Alright, I tried to kill him there, but didn't manage to. So here our flask is running out in 5 minutes. I should probably make a weak aura for that, because missing your flask is not good. But yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna do this pack. We're gonna Shroud here, actually, which is interesting. We're gonna take this pack later. Never done that before, but apparently that's what you do here. And we almost fucked the Paladin here, because I don't see him. And then I hook away, and the Paladin is still back there. So I almost kill him and wipe us and fail the key. But so yeah, keep track of your friends when you Shroud. But he's really slow. It's just Paladin class, I guess. So here you cleave off the big guy, but it's really important that you interrupt a cast from the casters called Withering Discharge. You see this Withering Discharge there? Gets interrupted. Because that one is really, really bad. If that goes off, the whole group gets 20% reduced damage. So there is casting again. I kick that. If that goes off, the whole group gets 20% reduced damage. Alright, so here we're going right. We're skipping this guy. You don't need Shroud to skip him, actually. Just wait until he goes to the max patrol range, and make sure everyone is in there. Perfect. Because otherwise I could distracted if we needed it. So here we're gonna cleave off the big guy again. We should, right? There we go. There we found the big guy. We did between the eyes and the big guy. Meat shield, kick that. No. It's hard to kick, man. Sometimes you get so zoned out by all the stuff that's going on, and by everything that's happening. It's like you miss kicks sometimes. It's easier for ranged, I feel like, to kick, because they're like they have more room to like move and easier time to see everything and stuff like that. But yeah, our kick is shorter CD, so we definitely have to use it better. And he interrupts the heal there. It's really good. And here we pull the big guy without all the smallies. It's probably good for bolstering to pull the big guy alone. Here we should vanish soon. We see vanish is off CDs. We should between the eyes, and here we should vanish. Come on, man. I was just saying that I was like, I've gotten better at vanishing, and then I don't vanish. Please. Please vanish. No. Okay, I guess I'm not vanishing here. But yeah, I have gotten better, but obviously I still have some ways to improve on the vanish. But other than the vanish, I feel like I played this dungeon. I actually played it pretty perfectly, as good as I can. I didn't make that many rotational mistakes and stuff, which I guess is bad if I'm trying to make a commentary video. But it's because then I don't have as many like things to talk about. Because now it's just like, yeah, I'm just doing my rotation. Yeah, just doing the rotation. You know, you can try to hit the Kyrian point there, maybe. Something that I've started doing is I've started refreshing Blade Flurry before it's gone from me. Like before it's disappeared, I use it again if it's off CD. Because the initial damage Blade Flurry does when you activate it is actually pretty good for AoE. Here we should reroll. There you go. We rerolled a little bit late there. But yeah, so Blade Flurry, you should use it when it comes off CD. Like, even if you have 4 seconds left of Blade Flurry, you shouldn't wait until those 4 seconds are over and then use it to get like higher uptime or whatever. You should just spam it. As soon as it's up, you should use it again. That is to get more of the initial damage. The prideful damage, you can cloak it here. I feint and I cloak. Yeah, there we go. I have 3 orbs there to my left that I'm not taking. Look at all these orbs that I could be taking. But I don't do that. So that's definitely something I need to do better. Because that gives me 3 seconds longer of my Covenant buff. The orbs. But I think the Paladin is spawning a lot of the orbs. But I can still take them. So I definitely should. Something else that I've come up with, that I've thought about for single target, is that if you have the ability to use Between the Eyes on a target that already has Between the Eyes on it, then you should do it. Because before I was thinking the same thing as Blade Flurry. It's like, yeah, I wait until Between the Eyes is gone, and then I will use it again. But if you have the ability to use Between the Eyes on a target that already has Between the Eyes, Between the Eyes then has a 20% additional chance to crit, right, from the debuff. And when Between the Eyes crits, it does triple the normal damage instead of double. So it's way stronger if it crits than other abilities. So if you can, you should use it on a target that you already have Between the Eyes on. But that's almost only doable in the opener if you get True Bearing, you know, you get fast resets. Because here you can see I'm like it's disappearing in 2 seconds and I have like 8 seconds left. So it's on in like normal fight it's pretty much impossible. But in the opener it can actually be a bit of a DPS increase to do it that way. To use like Between the Eyes on top of the Between the Eyes. So that works. Alright, and then we'll keep fighting here. When the ads come up, I try to Blade Flurry, of course. And you can also tricks the tank, so he has an easier time tanking them. But yeah, I don't have tricks up for every single one. And here you want to focus on dodging the chains We have a few people here in the crook that get hit multiple times, actually, in the 16, which is not good, but I mean, it happens to the best of us, right? So let's keep cleaning off the ads and keep dodging the hooks. It's very important. There I almost ran into the hook from behind. Like I almost I don't know, caught the hook again, and I don't know. But gotta be careful with that. So you don't want to if you get hooked here, you don't have, as a rogue, you don't have anything, any immunities or anything to use. The paladin can bop you, but yeah. So if you get caught here, you're pretty much dead, I would say. So you definitely don't want to get caught. We're saving Adrenaline Rush here for the big pack before the last boss. Or actually the big pack up here. Because now there's going to be mobs up here. So we use the hooks and we come up. And this is the pack that we shrouded. And here we make a mistake. We do a double pack here. Which I think is too much. It ends up probably being a time loss. I cloak here just so I don't have to care about the tornadoes and I can stay on target. Care about the storming, that is. A meat shield, the whole meat shield goes through there. I could have kicked that, but I wasn't paying attention. So that was really bad, because now you see the deceased horror, he has like a big shield on him. We kick something else instead. Meat shield goes through again, the whole thing. We could have stunned it or gouged it earlier, so that was also a mistake. But I feel like this dungeon is like, I don't mess up my rotation so much, like my DPS rotation, but I need to vanish more, of course. But I need to do better with the kicks and the stuns and stuff on other targets. But I'll get there. So there I hit him with the gouge to interrupt the heal, which is really nice. I hit him with the kidney shot there to interrupt the shield, and he was almost dead. Alright, so we're done with that pack, and now no one has CDs. So now we're gonna do a big pack without any CDs. Pretty much. But that's just what you have to do. Our timer's looking good here, so I'm pretty hyped at this point. So we jump in here, we cleave off the big guy, I think. Or do we cleave off? Yeah, we cleave off the star, actually. Because the ritualist, so we can kick. We could stun here. The ritualist would probably be a good stun target right here. Well, the bear bashes it. He thinks of it before I do, I guess. I stun there, but pretty meaningless stun. Would have been better to use it earlier. Here we can shiv to remove enrage, but we don't have a shiv at the moment, so we'll just let the hunter and the druids sort that out. But this tank is very, very tanky, so he tanks that no problem. Even without CDs, probably, from the last pack. So that was impressive. We keep pumping here, we do the manifestation. We save our adrenaline rush here for the last boss. The last boss is pretty hard. But, yeah, spoiler alert, we killed the last boss. Here we're saving everything, so we're not going to use vanish here. We're saving everything. We cloak here because the damage gets pretty intense at the end. Because everyone is saving CDs, so it gets pretty intense. Hunters on 5%, Pala on 12. Yeah. Everyone's saving CDs, so it gets a little bit crazy there. I probably should use Adrenaline Rush on those just to make it less crazy. But we also need a DPS for the boss, so... So we do what we can. In the beginning, this boss is really easy. You just dodge the things, whatever. So a really good tip is to not bloodlust phase 1, even if you have pride like we do. You should bloodlust the last phase. You should also kick your own ad here. We always say that, like kick your own ad. That's good. And here we should do between the eyes. See if we do that. We do. All right. So DPSing now as normal. We're still in phase 1. So phase 1 lasts a long time. But we're doing good on time and everything. Here's the second rift. Between the eyes. No. We should have done between the eyes there instead of slice and dice. But it's okay. So here we're gonna lust. So here we get the little bloodlust. And now we're in phase 2. This overlap is really dangerous, the one that happens now. It's the frontal and the knockback thing. So I get stuck between those two. And I take a lot of damage. And I could have avoided that way better. But I thought I would be fine. The hitbox is kind of weird there. I really thought I would be fine. But this overlap is scary. If you have cloak here and you go low, you need to use it. But cloak just came off CD and I'm fine right now. So I'm saving cloak in case I need it. Here we have another one of those overlaps, but it's not as bad because the charge is like further away from us. But if you're gonna wipe on this boss, you wipe there when that overlap happens. Like everything kind of happens at once. After that's done, now the boss is pretty free, to be honest. Now you just have to keep dodging the charge. And see the Dark Devastation, it happens later now. So it's easier. It happens like after the charge. So it's easier to handle now. We kick our own again. And cleave off the boss on top of them. We play Flurry. Watch where the charges are. We're fine. Perfect. And then we just kill the boss. And there it is. That's the timed. Theater of Pain timed on 16. And we get 35 artifact power for our efforts. We actually get 3 loot pieces, so that's really good. Everyone gets loot except me and the paladin. But, well, I got 35, not artifact power, but anima, which is pretty good. Alright, so that's my Theater of Pain 16 on time commentary. It's obviously not scripted, so I talk a lot of shit and talk in circles and whatever, but I think, I hope that it can still be useful to you guys. It's like a 40-minute video of me talking, so hopefully you can find some bits that are actually useful. And you guys seem to like the Plaguefall video a lot, so I hope you like this one as well. I'll just go over like in quick summary, right? So the mistakes that I made in this video is I've improved a lot on my rotation, I feel like. So the only thing I did was I didn't vanish as often as I could every single time. But that's like the only rotation mistake, I feel like. I didn't vanish as often as I could. Other than that, I did fine across the board. I didn't refresh my flask. You can see top right, I don't have a flask active. So I didn't have a fresh flask going into it. That was a mistake that I definitely should sort out for next time. So it's those 2 things. And then the third one is that I need to stun and interrupt better. Sometimes I get caught up in doing other things and stuff like that. But stunning and interrupting is really important. But yeah, I mean, Outlaw is one of the highest APM, actions per minute classes, so I have a lot of other stuff to press, but I definitely still should do better stunning and interrupting. So I will work on those 3 things for sure. That's the mistakes that I can find in this video. And for the rotation, I guess I'll go over it briefly, right? Single target, your priority is, the most important thing is between the eyes, then comes slice and dice, and then comes roll the bones, and use Blade Rush on CD, Curian on CD, try to use as many adrenaline rushes as you can throughout the entire dungeon, but save them for tyrannical bosses if you need it, if you want to, if you need it. if it's high keys, it's really important to save it because the bosses are really tough on Tyrannical. So that's the single target priorities. The Mythic Plus priorities is keep Blade Flurry up at all times, and you should spam it even when it's off CD and you still have like 4 seconds. You should use it again just for the initial damage that it does when you activate it. And after that, you should Between the Eyes on a high health target and cleave off of that one. Then you should Slice and Dice, and then you should Roll the Bones. Or well, you should Roll the Bones actually before the combo starts, but that's where it is in the priority if you don't have it up. But yeah, you should Roll the Bones before the fight starts. The opener is a little bit different now in general on both multi-target and single when I'm playing Vigor. So I don't start the fight with the Slice and Dice. So, but my first combo point spender is still Between the Eyes. So I do Between the Eyes and then I do Slice and Dice. But that it works out fine, to be honest, because you have 150 energy as Vigor, so you actually get those combo points up pretty fast in the beginning. But yeah, that's pretty much the AoE and the single target priorities. It's all the mistakes that I made in the dungeon and what I think I can do better. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I hope to be able to bring more of these to you guys next week. I should be doing a lot more high keys then. I'm 1 dungeon away currently from getting my Keystone Master, which is 15 in every dungeon. So if you wanna check that out or ask me any questions about this video or talk to me about anything, then please feel free to come by my stream. I'll link it below as usual. But yeah, that's it guys. So thanks for watching and I hope to see you soon. Take care guys.